Oh, it's a good boy. This is good.
Hello, YouTube. I let you see that. Got asked about to explain Pearson squares, and what I thought I'd do is I'd bring in a much smarter expert.
Smarter might not be the best. Anyway.
We're grading on a curve here. This is my friend Leroy here. He's going to go through some of this stuff for you. I'm going to try to ask some questions to try to clarify some things as we go. But full disclaimer, some of the math might be a little wrong. Just for percentage-wise, when we say soybean meal is this much protein or whatever. But, you know, you can find all this stuff in books. But we'll give you the general concept as to how to go about things. So take her away.
Google is a free resource.
Yeah.
So I'm going to preface this by saying a couple of things. I know Bill kind of mentioned that he's looking more for different type of livestock. I'm from sheep background, so I'm going to speak to what I know in the sheep background just as a quick starter on it. So the biggest thing that you're going to want to calculate when you're doing this is your protein percentage. So anybody that's done a Pearson square before will know that you want to do the ending percentage that you want to end up at. So for just a regular sheep maintenance ration, that's usually right around 14%. So today what we're going to use, just to keep things simple, we're going to use soybean meal and we're going to use oats, because those are readily available where we are, and that tends to make the best percent, or the best feed. So soybean meal right around 48%. Oats are usually around that 12% mark. So what we want to do here is we're going to subtract your 14 from your 48. So you're always subtracting your lower number from your higher number on here. That's the part that screws people up sometimes. So taking that away, that means that we've got 34.
And you're going on a diagonal.
We're going on a diagonal. So we're going across here, going this way. And we want to do the same going up. So going up, we're taking 12 away from 14. That leaves us with 2. So once we've got these two numbers here, we can kind of forget about these numbers here. The only reason we leave that in there is because we want to remember where we're going. So the easiest way I've always found is to break this down into the lowest common denominator. So both of these are easily divisible by 2. We divide by 2, that gives us 1. We divide by 2, that gives us 17. So this gives us our parts. So you're going 17 parts oats to 1 part soybean meal. So that doesn't matter when you're calculating it. It can be kilograms, it could be pounds, it could be stones, it could be busloads. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as you keep that ratio the same.
I would have gone with a bin or a truckload. Buses seem like an odd way to ship grain, but moving on.
The Americans are goofy. So
yeah, sometimes.
Include them.
Okay, so if you wanted to add, like, say you wanted to have more parts to your feed, like,
okay.
So like the one guy, Anthony, is specifically, he's looking at rabbits and being able to grow a lot of his own stuff. So
okay,
he might be mixing different things each time he mixes, but.
So if I wanted to take this same idea, but I wanted to add corn to it.
Yeah.
Because, again, readily available. So we start over. But this time, what we've got to do is we basically got to make a concentrate. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our soybean meal again at our 48%, and we're going to use corn, which is about 9%. So this time we're going to make it into a concentrate, so we'll say about 25% protein on it. So we go across and that gives us 23, and we go across and that gives us 14. So again, we can forget about these two numbers here. Whoop, sorry, Pop. Forget about these two numbers here. So in order to get these down, we're going to play with it a little bit, and we're going to say instead of 23, that's going to be our 21.
Math isn't always the...
It can be an exact science, except for when it isn't.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to divide that by 7, and we're going to divide that by 7 because they equally go into that. That gives us 2 parts, and that gives us 3 parts.
So for every 2 parts of soybean meal, we'd put 3 parts of corn in.
Yeah, and that'll give us our 25%.
Our bus loads again.
Our 25% concentrate ration.
Right.
So what we want to do is we want to take our concentrate at 25%. We're going to cut it with oats. sorry, that was 12, and then we're going to go back into our 14% complete. So that gives us 11, 2. So for every 2 pounds of concentrate that you're putting in, or 2, we'll say pounds, 2 pounds of concentrate, you're going to put in 11 pounds of oats.
Does that make sense to everybody?
So if I'm mixing a bag of oats is usually 25 kilograms or 50 pounds or 55 pounds. So at 55 pounds, that gets multiplied by 5, that gets multiplied by 5. So you get 10 pounds of concentrate and one bag of oats.
And this is obviously the same way if you wanted to add, you got 3 ingredients. If you wanted to add 4 ingredients, you do same thing, just keep breaking it down all the way.
Yep. So, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start with your highest proteins and break them down.
Always work down from the highest.
Down. So if you were going to, or whatever your most abundant is.
Right.
So that's why we're using the oats to cut that down, is because they'll be the most abundant feed source.
They grow pretty much everywhere.
They grow pretty much everywhere. They're good for feed. They give lots of fiber. They give lots of energy. It's a good deal. So that's it. It screws people up when you start crossing everything up. So we'll just get rid of this here. So when you start doing your crosses this way, everybody kind of understands that. When you get to that and you have to come across this way to figure out where your oats or where your bottom end is, that tends to screw everybody up a little bit. So once you're beyond this side, you turned into parts, or you're turned into whatever your weight is, and then you can manipulate that to make it a percentage or make it whatever.
Well, thank you very much, sir. I'm sure I'm going to get lots of questions, so I will try to answer what I can, but I may get a hold of him and direct him towards your way, and maybe we can get him out here and talk about sheep one of these times. Thanks for coming out, sir.
No problem.
Everybody say hi to Leroy. Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace off.
Bye.